What's up, peoples? This is D Mabry. I think I'm gonna start this vlog. I think the Lord is leading me to do this, so I'ma try it out this semester, and I just be talking daily about my life, what I'm going through, and how this walk with Christ is, and all that. So yeah, this is gonna be the first one. Yeah, so we have a reading schedule at my church or whatever that I go to, and one of the chapters we were supposed to be reading today is 1 Samuel 13:7 through 14, and pretty much in these verses Saul was disobedient to God or whatever. Like he was going to war with the Philistines or whatever, and Saul was disobedient to God, and he's the king of Israel at this moment in time, and he was going to war against the Philistines or whatever, and pretty much the Philistines had this huge army, and he was waiting for Samuel to come and pretty much bless the people, or bless his army, so that they will be victorious in this battle. But instead, he acted before Samuel got there, and he acted out of fear. So first, fear was planted in his heart and his mind, which discouraged him from staying on the path that God had wanted him to follow. And like in verse 7, it shows this fear being planted, and it says, and all the troops with him were quaking with fear. And in verse 8, it also says Saul's men began to scatter. And after this fear was planted, it led to an action against God. And so Saul took action based on what he physically saw, which was leading him to fear, but instead of what he didn't see, which would have been him living by faith, which we are supposed to live by on a daily basis. Verses 11, 12, and 13 show how he was looking at the physical and not the spiritual. In verse 11, he said, when I saw the men were scattering. That was the visual that he got. So he was like, oh man, what's going on? And then verse 13, he said, I thought now the Philistines will come. So he was using his own mind instead of using his spirit to guide him or whatever. And then he said, so I felt compelled. So he was basing all his actions, all that he was doing, on what he felt would be right, instead of what God was leading him and told him to do. So he didn't obey the commands of God. And this was a foolish act because it was based on fear, not faith, on the seen, not the unseen. We are supposed to live on, our faith is based off the unseen, because we can't see God. All we have to do is have faith and trust him and live by that or whatever. And this is what trips a lot of people up. When they see certain things happen physically, fear comes and disturbs their faith, which leads to an action outside of God's will. So instead of looking at the physical, just trust God, stay in his will, be obedient, and he'll lead you, and he'll guide you, and he'll keep you, man. But yeah, I'm about to get on some yoga, and peace.